All right. Well, Zach, I was hoping that we could just start and you could talk a little bit about your experience of retroactive jealousy.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing is I never considered myself a jealous person. I think that was the part that hit me pretty hard in the beginning of this is, I've been in relationships, I've had long relationships. I was married for 5 years and I've never experienced jealousy. And so before I decided to buy the course, what happened was I was quizzing my partner. I was looking on social media. I was doing literally, if there was check boxes like, hey, this is the retroactive jealousy checkbox. I was like doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it, and it all came to fruition. And I was visiting my significant other. I was on the East Coast, and while out there, we were at a NASCAR race, and you don't get much more visually stimulating than being at car racing. And the entire time, I'm having visions and movies and images and thinking about her exes nonstop. And then Sunday night, I went to fly home, and I was looking for a spot in the airport to go cry because I couldn't control my thoughts. And then Monday morning, I woke up and I'm laying in bed. My thoughts are completely controlling me. And the last thing I was thinking about before bed, the first thing I was thinking about in the morning. And I just sat there and probably cried in bed for an hour and a half because I couldn't get control of my thoughts. And that's when I decided, I said, you know what? This is it. Like, I obviously don't have a handle on this. I finished like a third of your book and I was like, I got this. I'm good. No. And so that's what forced me to order the course. And I finally said, you know what? I'm debating going and seeing a therapist, which is going to cost me thousands of dollars. Why don't I try something else first? And so I ordered the course, and literally within, I think I finished the course in a week and a half. And it was almost, I don't want to say instant help, but it was, because I started talking to my mom a little bit about my childhood because of this. And my mom brought up a lot of stuff that I had forgotten about, that I had suppressed, that I've started to realize that insecurities that I didn't realize that I had.
So, what are the main benefits you think you got out of the course if you had to boil it down?
I think the biggest thing is I think over the last year and a half, I've forgotten who I was a little bit. I went through a divorce and I went through some stuff and I blamed myself big time for the divorce. And I had a lot of guilt because of where my life was at. And I was, blaming myself for everything that had happened. And I had a lot of fear because of the divorce that my son was going to get messed up and that he was going to have mental issues later in life. And so I was, sorry, my cat just decided to come and join us.
No, I dig the cameo. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I had a lot of self guilt in my head for the last year and a half, 2 years, which I think was also hurting my self esteem. It was hurting everything. And so these things from my childhood started to be able to grasp and get a handle because I've been able for a very long time to not let them get to me. And then all of a sudden, they were given an opportunity and they took full advantage of it.
Hmm. So, how would you say you're different now compared to when you started the course?
There's a huge difference now. And is this something that I'm completely over in 2.5 weeks? No, no. But I think that I have made leaps and bounds from where I was. Do I still have thoughts pop into my head? Absolutely. I wrote down a list of triggers and I know what they are, but now I'm at a point where, one of my triggers is the city where her ex lived, and it's here locally. And before, the city, you would lead to images of her driving, which would lead to images of seeing her with him, which would lead to everything else. And now, I just kind of see the city. And so, I realized that everything was a stepping stone and everything was a roadmap. And me being pissed off at a city is a little illogical.
So, if you had to share one message with anyone watching this who's struggling with retroactive jealousy, what would you tell them?
Nobody can fix this for you. And I think I said this to you at one point is you gave me the tools to fix this, but it took me crying in my bed and having my 6-year-old at the time, now 7-year-old, come in and ask me, Daddy, what's wrong? For me to say to myself, this is on me and I have to fix this. And I have a business partner and he has this thing called Flip the Switch. He's got t-shirts that just say hashtag flip the switch. And what he says is you can make a choice in everything and you just have to make a choice to flip that switch. And That's what it took for me. Is I finally said, no, I'm not going to let the past control me. I'm not going to let her exes control me, because that's what I was doing. I was allowing these guys who I don't know them, I know nothing about them, and I'm allowing them to control my life. Absolutely not. I'm not okay with that. And so I made a choice to flip the switch. And my biggest tip is you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't truly want to fix this, you're not going to. But you have to reach the point that you have to truly, truly say to yourself, I will fix this, and I will fix it now.